Well, Happy New Year, guys. It's been a while. I've been working through this dash, a lot of customization, a lot of painting, a lot of repainting, a lot of repainting again till I'm happy with it. It's fiddly work, rebuilding gauges and whatnot. I'll take you for a quick run through it. What I've been up to. I think I'm still another few weeks away before I can get the dash assembled for final assembly, but I'll give you a quick run through, and thanks for tuning in and sticking with it. Yeah, it's been a while. Plus, you know, over Christmas time, shit just gets in the way, life gets in the way. But yeah, I try and get out here and do a few hours every day, and you know, it is what it is. Cheers. So work continues on the dash surrounds, and as you can see, I'm slowly working through all the bits and pieces. A lot of customization, different colors. As you can see, I'm sticking with the orange and blue theme, that materials for the cloth inserts for the seats and dash. I've got that in a matte, the carbon all in a matte clear finish, and the other bit there too. I've gone for a white. I've repainted the gauges here. They really needed restoring anyway, these GT gauges. I've had them for about 20 years, and they need a fair bit of restoring, and I've got stuck with the orange and blue theme with that as well. Covered the sides of the dash lower parts so it meets up with the crash pad, and done the orange theme there. It's all filled, painted, and looks half decent. Blanking plates I've also painted. This cover, which will go over that area there, I've put a bracket behind it. That's going to hold the electrical system, the little moto gadget I showed you in previous videos. So easy access to resetting fuses and whatnot, and seeing what's going on with the electrical system. As you can see, I've gotten carried away with the lightweight, making holes in things, and reduced these by about 1/3 of their weight. These are just the steel brackets that hold the cluster, the speedo and tacho cluster. So they're no, you know, they're not critical in any way, and they're still plenty strong enough for that job. I was going to make them out of aluminium, but yeah, I thought I'll do this first. And yeah, it's a pretty traditional way of weight saving from back in the era when these cars were racing and whatnot.
Which was the style at the time.
Drill holes and everything. I also did the heater controls and everything. On the XA, I can't get a good shot here. On the XA, it doesn't have that colour strip for hot cold. I painted that in. On the later XBs, it had a bit of a colour thing there, but I thought, yeah, I'll stick with the orange and blue theme, because remember, yeah, once you start working with a theme, you've got to sort of stick with it. I've also got it's a bit rough, but yeah, drilled a lot of holes in all the brackets in this, only because every time I picked it up, I thought, geez, this is a fair bit of weight in that. And I wasn't going to do it, and I got a spare somewhere, and I thought, well, bugger it, I'm going to drill holes in it before I put it back together. So it's all lubricated and restored and painted and everything. All works nice and smooth. So yeah, but it did reduce the weight quite a bit. So that's done. The other thing is so the headlight switch, as you'll notice, it's got 2 buttons where the dimmer for the dash lights used to be. Now, So I got rid of this horrible thing, which looks like it's ready to start a fire, and put these in because I've decided to run these gauges. I'm pulling them apart at the moment to custom fit them in. This is a GPS speedo, which means no speedo cable, don't have to worry about messing around with gearing and working out your gearing and all that sort of shit, and speedo cables which always go wonky. So yeah, I'm going to give this a go, and it's got lots of other features as well. It's got speed alert and God knows what else. I haven't even looked into it. And I've got a matching tacho. This has got shift lights and shift warnings and all sorts of shit as well, which I haven't really got into. And you can change the colour. So these two switches come with the speedo and tacho, one for each, and they let you change colours, adjust your odometer, reset that, change your shift warning light and all that sort of stuff. So I had to customize this a fair bit. The actual blocks for the switches I made out of resin, just using a silicon mold which I got off eBay, and it works really well, this stuff. I've made a few little molds now, and I just used the wiper switch one, took that out, rebuilt that whole switch, took that out, made a mold so they sort of match. Put a better shot, so they sort of match. I've painted around it. Still needs a bit of a touch up. I'm still not real happy with the paint. It was silver, but I've also sanded it all smooth as well, so it matches in with all the rest of it. So those switches usually got like a snake skin or leather type finish, which I've done for the whole dash. I've sanded all that smooth. Yeah, so getting back to the gauges, I really tossed and turned about the white. Many years ago, I liked white when it was first popular. Bits of sticking with the theme of the car, inside of the interior, there's going to be some white happening. So I decided to go with white. I know it's everywhere now, and people are customising their gauges and not what with different colours and that. But I've always liked the white, and I thought, bugger it, I'll go with the white, even though it is very popular. I thought, yeah. What made me pick these gauges as well is I couldn't get the right size for the instrument. That's the instrument cluster. So I couldn't get the right. I'll just move this shit around. And these fit in almost perfect, but they're a little bit smaller than the standard gauges, which I didn't like. I looked at autometer gauges and a lot of other different gauges. The autometer ones were too big or too small. These ones are a half decent size, but one thing I didn't like was that they did look a lot smaller. Now I'm getting older, I'm pushing 60, so my eyesight is not as good as it used to be. So what I'm doing, I've taken the cover off, but I'm going to, I've been messing around, I've been buying magnifying glasses off eBay, and the missus has been wondering what the hell I'm magnifying. So I've tried lots of different magnifying glasses. I've got this one, and I'm going to run that as the lens. Obviously it's not going to be gold, but I'm still messing with it. I'm going to attach that just so it's hard to do it with the camera, but hang on, I'll set this up. So I didn't like the smallness of the numbers, if that's a word. I wanted to make it a little bit bigger. And a lot of classic cars, especially the older Ferraris and all that, you see they've got a really thick lens, and it sort of looks pretty cool. So I thought, I'll try magnifying, and I don't know if you can see the difference. It's not a lot, but it's enough just to make those numbers big. This is a 10 times magnifying glass, so if you hold it right away, it sort of magnifies. But because it's close, and the rim almost fits perfectly on there. So once I paint it black and I do a few mods, I think I'll be happy. Like I said, I didn't want it to look too distorted and whatnot, and it looks pretty good. It looks a bit more classy. Now, looking at it from an angle, it does distort a bit, but seeing as how, I'll just take the camera now, seeing as how these, sorry boys, seeing how these are so deep inside the cluster, the gauge is going to sit so deep inside there, you're not really going to see it from a angle, or the passenger is not going to really see it. The driver will see it from straight on anyway. So that's my reasoning. I'm still messing about with it. Obviously, I will probably get rid of SAS. You're going to have to go, man. You don't fit in with my colour scheme. And I will be messing about repainting these a little bit, so I'll probably do an orange red line, like similar to the standard gauges, just like a square triangle type thing. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. It's time consuming. Also, I bought myself a little voltage regulator for these gauges. I did have to, what I ended up doing, because these were looking pretty crispy, like I said, I picked these up for like 20 bucks 20 years ago, and they were a little crispy, so I wasn't sure if they were going to work, especially the fuel and temp. So what I did was I got my old gauges, the standard XA ones that sit in there, the fuel and temp, and they are almost identical. You just got to change the needles, and there's a few other little small modifications, but they were in perfect working order. So I swapped them back into these. So if you get stuck, you can do it. I'm sure they'll work the same. They look exactly the same. You just got to change the needles, which is really easy, because the needles on these ones are a lot bigger. So yeah, hopefully that'll work. I haven't tested them or anything. I'll wait until I get it all wired up, because it's pretty easy to pull this surround out if I need to mess about with the gauges a bit more. But yeah, so the voltage regulator stops them from burning out, because I got a pretty medieval way of controlling the voltage, because it's 5 volts to these gauges, and we run 12 volt systems in the car, and it's like a points contactor that goes, and if that sticks, and it always sticks in the closed position, there's videos on YouTube, they burn out and you toast them. So yeah, that was like 40 bucks on eBay, so that was good. The gauges, I think they're about 400 for the pair. So like I said, a lot of features, GPS, speedo, just, you know, and they're a lot lighter. So, you know, my goal is save weight wherever possible in this car. Obviously, step away from the drill press. So yeah, it's coming up good. So just an update, and I haven't even dummy assembled any of this dash yet to see what it looks like. Remember, I've recovered the crash pad, so it's just sitting over here. Trying to live to learn with, learn to live with that a bit more. But yeah, it's coming up good. So cheers guys. So yeah, if you're still with us, thanks for watching. Just a quick vid. I might put some action at the end of this video, just because this was pretty boring. But yeah, it's fiddly work. I'm getting there. I mean, even these covers, they had like a rough finish in the center here. I sanded all that smooth. Same with that one. Trying to get a nice even, trying to get the look to all flow, nice smooth look, no bits and pieces. It's only really going to have the 2 switches in the dash, wipers and lights, or whatever, which way, might be lights, wipers. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's all coming out. I don't mind the orange and blue. Kids and missus seem to think it looks pretty good. I'm happy with how this is all coming out, the carbon and everything. I don't know what it's going to look like altogether. We'll see. Stay tuned, and thanks for following.